Oh,
Mr. Robbie.
yeah, yeah, that would be me, apparently.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to our podcast, everybody. Welcome to the show. The handsome man sitting opposite him is me, and he's the what can we call you? You're the
The voice of
delinquent.
reason.
No,
The
well, no, I
voice of
wouldn't go that
reason.
far.
No?
No,
Okay.
no. I mean, I'd like to call you famous, but infamous comes to mind more than famous.
I'm not infamous. I'm not even famous. Nobody knows who I am. Damn, my mom could walk past me on the street. She wouldn't know who I am.
This would explain a lot about your personality.
Yeah. It's not me. It's Chernobyl.
Well, yeah, blame it on the Russians, eh?
Yeah, yeah. Chernobyl did this to me.
Well, that's now. What else did it do to you? Did it give you a teeny
Um,
weeny?
No, but it gave me very, very awesome taste as far as cars are concerned. As
Yeah, no,
opposed
that's
to
a no.
you, which you wouldn't know a good looking car, a great car, if it literally ran you over.
Yeah, which is a wonderful build up to our segment about what we talked about last week, which was
Yeah,
called "No Replacement for Displacement."
and there isn't any.
And basically, so what we're talking about before you switch all your internet off and ignore us both, what it basically means in layman's terms, and when I mean layman, it's you, obviously, but layman's terms is a American muscle car, i.e., a bigger engine, better than a smaller European engine? Not too small, obviously, but even if it was smaller, I still think the European engines are much more efficient, much more fuel efficient, easier to work on, and more reliable.
I wouldn't say easier to work on. I wouldn't say that because the last thing I would want to do before considering BDSM would be, doing some kind of a head gasket on any modern hatchback. You name it. Ford Fiesta, Opel Corsa, Vauxhall Corsa, Renault Clio, stuff like that. Like to change the headlight bulb on a Renault Megane, you have to take the wheel off. It's that retarded.
Yeah, I know, but we're talking about engines here. I mean, what we're saying is a bigger engine better than a smaller engine.
Of course it is. Everything that is bigger, it's going to be better, with the exception
Oh,
of a disease. The bigger the cancer, the worse it's gonna be for you, my friend. But when it comes to engines, I'm sorry, the bigger the better, because even Europeans, even with their draconic taxing system, they still aspire to at least a 4-liter engine. The big three, all of their premium lineup is gonna be way over 3 liters. The M5, the EAMG, and the RS6.
Yeah, and this is why the American cars are so much better than the European car.
Well, not just that, but they look a lot better. You would have to give
Yeah,
me that. They
and
look a lot better.
and because they look a lot better, and they they are yeah, bigger engine. It explains the reason why they're so successful in the World Rally Championships and the Dakar. Wow, it's amazing. How many American cars have won the Dakar, Rob?
Well, that's kind of a moot point. It's a moot
No,
point.
it's not.
It's like a cow's opinion, because
No,
nobody really,
that's a
really cares about the Dakar, do they?
yes, of course they do. It's like the Nurburgring. Hold on, sorry, to cut you off here. It's like the Nurburgring. Anyone wants to test their car. For example, the Z08, I think it was the last Corvette, the iteration, the Cadillac CTS-V. They've all gone to the Nurburgring. Why? So they can go around a corner. And we know what American cars can't do, right? Is go around a corner unless they slow down from the quarter mile down to about 6 miles an hour. They turn the corner carefully so the wheels don't fall off, and then they start accelerating again. This is why it's quite important for manufacturers to take their cars and take them to the Paris Dakar Rally, which is now called the Dakar, which was in South America last year, I believe. And also why manufacturers like taking their cars to the World Rally Championships, the FIA, which American cars do not belong to because they're too fat.
Okay. Dumbass argument about the Dakar. Anyway, So yeah, tell me about, because you said all Europeans are going to be interested in racing, right? Did Porsche enter the Dakar? No. Did
Yes, it did.
Porsche? No, they didn't. Did they
Yes, they
enter
did.
the any kind of WRC race? No, they haven't.
Not recently, but they have
Well,
done, and they have won.
like once by a fluke. No, they
And I'm
didn't.
sorry, and how many American flukes have we won?
Well, none because they
Let's say
didn't enter.
Porsche but by the pedigree that Porsche is, right? Okay, all right. Let's go by this. If we really want to, destroy your conversation, if you have a look at, then now I know where you're going to go with this, Le Mans 24 hour.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I know
Did you
where you're
really
going to go
say
with
that?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every car in Le Mans got a big engine. All of them are V8s.
Okay.
And
Except for
the Ford GT kind of took a dump on everyone when they wanted to, and then
back
they just
in the
didn't
day,
have
but
interest
the
anymore.
victors have been Europeans, not Americans.
Mostly, but not all of them. Why doesn't
No,
Bentley enter the Le Mans?
it has entered, by the way. Bentley has won it as
yeah,
well.
in 1912 when they were
No.
drawn by horses.
No. We're talking about 2008, 9, 10, somewhere around there.
And how
Ben,
did they do well? I'm sorry, I'm kind of ignorant to Le Mans.
yeah. That they came first, second, and I think they came third as well in some of them.
Did
First,
they?
second, and third. Yeah.
No breakdowns. No
Bentley
wheels
Bentley
falling
has
off
won
and
the
stuff
Le
like
Mans
that?
24 hour a few times.
Yeah. What about your favorite car, the Rolls Royce? How many times has that thing won Le Mans or WRC?
Come on.
It doesn't
Well,
matter.
that's like saying
In the
No,
real
oh.
world, look, would you or would you not want to consider buying the last winning car of WRC 2019? I think that was a Hyundai i10 or something. I would not buy that thing if you poke me with a stick.
we are not talking about buying the car. We're talking about. Look, I mean, you said the Hyundai i10, right?
Yeah.
So if the Hyundai won it, look at the technology and what the manufacturers have done. Why don't the Americans enter with their big ass engine? It's so powerful.
They don't
All right,
care.
now they can't enter because there's a limit on the side of the
Yeah.
engine.
And they don't
Alright.
care.
But,
They've got NASCAR, they've got the Indy. They don't care
But
about
where are they
European
now?
racing.
No, Indy. But where's the? I mean, the nasty cars. No, God bless the Americans. I love America and I love NASCAR. But for this argument's sake, I want to destroy him. But let's have a look at. All right, NASCAR is all American. When you have Le Mans, any manufacturer can enter Le Mans. Why don't the Americans enter with their big ass cars? Where is the Stingray? Where's the Viper? Where are these cars?
The whatchamacallit, the Corvette, I think is in the GTCC, GTGM or whatever kind of. There is a competition with touring cars that the Corvette has entered for the past few years, and they're not doing bad. They're not doing bad.
Yeah, not doing good, but they're not doing bad. Good vote for confidence there.
Well, yeah, because you gotta understand, because they put the Corvette up alongside Lamborghinis and Ferraris and stuff like, and Astons, and like the Corvette is half the price. Like for an oil change on a Veyron, you can buy 2 Corvettes. And
Yeah.
it does mostly the same thing. In the real world, you would not feel the difference between a Corvette and a Veyron. I said it.
If you asked most Americans which one they would prefer, the Corvette or the Veyron, and not even the Veyron. Veyron's it's an ultimate supercar. Let's say if you asked them for an Aventador, let's say a Ferrari 360 or 430, F430, which one would they go for? Would they, if they had choice of the same kind of within money? I know the Corvette's cheaper, I'll give you that, the Stingray, but if they had the choice up to about, let's say, $300,000, how many of them do you actually think would go for the American muscle car? None.
Well, no, none, because the thing is, it's all about perception. It's all about the point of view, my little Paduan. It's about, for us, a Ford F-250 is going to be exotic. And for them, I don't know, Renault Megane could be exotic, right? Because they don't get stuff like that over there. But we do, and it's a piece of junk. Because I had a lot of conversations like this with a lot of American people, and they said, like, why are you such a big fan of the Harley Sportster? You find them a dime a dozen where I'm from. And I go like, yeah, but there's very few of them over here. They're exotic. Under this category of what's exotic for Americans is not going to be for us, and what's going to be for us is not going to be for them. The only thing that has the exception is almost every kind of Italian car. Those are exotic everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm talking
No,
about,
I give you that point.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, we're going to talk about it now, but we have mentioned it in passing conversation the Mustang. Especially, let's say, one of my favorite films, Gone in 60 Seconds, Eleanor. Wow.
Yeah.
From young guys to middle age, your age, obviously, old age.
Yeah.
Guys have all, they call it a goregasm. They gore it and go, wow, I love that car.
Yeah.
It's impressive. Even America's impressive, but we're not talking about that. We are talking about the Dodge, the Hellcats. It's
but
not really a.
Would the Shelby GT have such an impact if it were a 2.2 liter? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. The whole
All that shows me that the Americans couldn't build a smaller engine to get the most power out of it, where Europeans can save money, build a smaller engine, and get the same car. Well, not the same horsepower, but the car's better handling than it going in a straight line. I want to go around a corner. No matter what you say, if you put a car on a track, and in a race, the European cars are going to win over the American cars, even the Japanese cars.
I doubt it. I really do. If you try to put them, like in a fair fight, I'm not saying about, pinning. Let me think about a tiny piece of junk American car, like a Buick LeSabre. It's not tiny, but still, it's a piece of junk. If you put a Buick LeSabre next to an M5 and a Lexus GSF, it's gonna be smoked beyond recognition. Like the driver's gonna get out of the car, commit suicide, and that's it. But if you put like a Cadillac, let's say the CTS-V next to an M3 and next to Lexus IS, it's gonna stand a decent chance in front of them. It's going to stand a decent chance.
And why? Because it was tested in Europe.
Well, tested, but it doesn't matter. It could be tested on the moon. It matters who engineered it and who designed it and who built it.
You know what, my young Jedi apprentice, here's the thing. It's not if you look at the chassis, and most of them of the supercars are usually built by British manufacturers, and the design teams are British. And if you have a look at the some of the American hold on a second. Okay, here Mr. Cleverclogs, the GT40 that won Le Mans, where was it built?
I want to say Tennessee, but I think it was Missouri or something. Kentucky.
Wrong.
Kentucky.
It was made in England.
No. It was built in Kentucky. It's American made.
No. Yeah, sure. Look it up. It was made in England, by the way.
Yeah, by a German.
Didn't know that, did you? Yeah. Nah.
Okay. Look, it doesn't matter. I still hold on to my point. And let me try and explain to you why. When you have a 2-liter engine, right, especially a newer generation engine, its lifespan is not going to exceed, let's say, optimistically speaking, 200,000 miles. It's simply not going to exceed that, unless you go into a very heavy engine rebuild, which is going to total the car, right? Whereas an equivalent US-made 5.7 V8, because apparently that's the staple engine in the US, that could easily run for at least 500,000 miles. And I'm not talking about the diesels.
Okay, where did you get this information from? You just made it up.
No. I I regularly browse autotrader.com, where you see a lot of cars for sale from the United States, because I am kind of, let's say, dabbling into importing one, right? And you see cars which are listed for sale, and obviously they will list the mileage on them, and you very frequently see I'm looking at different kind of cars. I'm looking at the F-150 and the Ram 1500, and you see them so frequent with 350, 480,000, 550,000 miles. That's a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah, and in the famous words of a really good presenter that I really love, Nick Abbott, we're all about feelings these days, Rob, not about facts, right? It's your feeling. And let's say, okay, America, one of the greatest countries, if not the greatest country in the world, the roads are long and straight. Of course, it's never going to be under stress. What's the driver going to do? Set it on cruise control and go, Wow, man, I could go to sleep in this thing.
Yeah,
Come
and
on.
also,
It's never
yeah, but
used.
think about it, because you as a European, if you as a European car manufacturer and engine builder, right? You're gonna design a, let's say, a 1.4 liter engine which cranks out 140 horsepower with turbos and all sorts and 50 million sensors and modules and stuff like that, and that is simply just more stuff to go wrong, and it will, and it has, and it always will go wrong. Whereas a 5.7 liter V8 that pumps out something like 300 horsepower is plenty of horsepower for the streets, and it will, if it does break down, you fix it by the side of the road with a hammer and some chicken wire.
Yeah, and because it's always out of tune, you need those little blades to make sure the tap bits are within the right distance.
Well, they're
That's how archaic they are.
they
The timing is, oh, we can't accelerate more than 4,000 revs because that's all our engines go up to. Where the European cars can up to 6, 7, 8,000 revs.
no, 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 no. Usually V8s by design don't like revving high. V8s don't really like going upwards of 6.5, 7,000 RPM. Even if the RPM gauge shows 12,000, it's not gonna like going over, like, I don't know, 7,000 RPM at most. I know that Ferrari builds V8s that do frequently go higher, but again, you will never ever see a Ferrari with more than 120,000 miles.
Yeah, well, they're exotic. They're not driven that much.
Exactly.
They're playthings. Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't want to tow a gas station, as you would say in your weird accent, behind the car. I don't want a petrol pump sticking behind my car to fill it up every 122 miles.
No, you don't need
Come on.
you don't need something like that, because they accounted for that, and they have larger fuel tanks.
No, they don't.
Of course
How
they do.
large is the tank on the Hellcat? You know as
Well,
well as
yeah,
I
that
do.
one doesn't-
On the Grand Tour with our three favourite presenters, how long did Hammond's car have to? Oh, sorry, got to fill up again.
Well, yeah, but then again, look, the Challenger Hellcat is a great car. It's amazing. If I would have the money now, I would be ending this conversation now and just get one. But it's a drag racing car, and it's designed as one, and it only has fuel to go down the drag strip and back a couple of times, because you do not want to have a dragster literally with a registration plate on the back that carries 120 liters of fuel so you can burn up for longer.
Yeah, and if we were around a racetrack, even if I bought something called the Caterham, which looks like a kit car, around the track, I'd leave the Hellcat for dead.
I'm sorry,
There
but
would be nothing.
okay, probably you could leave the Hellcat for dead, but I doubt it, because that racetrack is gonna have a straight line, and the Hellcat is just gonna drift through the corners and power out of it
Oh,
and
come
smoke
on. Do you
it.
know how much time you lose drifting around a corner?
And I'm not even gonna say it, but you kind of made me say it. Nobody
here
in
we
its
go.
right mind would want to be seen in a Caterham.
I'm not saying they would. I'm just saying the Caterham with your muscle car round the track would leave it for dead.
Yeah, but that's a go-kart. It doesn't even count as a car. It has no windows. No, some of them don't even have a windscreen. It's just a retarded thing.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think even a car with a smaller engine would leave the Hellcat round the track dead. Because you got to understand, a track is not a straight. I mean, listen. Here's the thing: on NASCAR, it's not a straight. Go turn left, straight. Go turn left, straight. That's called an oval. That is not a racetrack. I want to turn right once in a while, not go left,
Well,
and left.
yeah, but
that's not it.
No, I mean, we're not going to get into the definition of what a racetrack is, but even a drag strip, which is a straight line, it's called a track.
Yeah,
Doesn't
a
matter
track
if
day
it's
car.
if
Well,
it's over. It
well.
doesn't matter. But uh, there's this weird perception about American cars that apparently you still cling on to. The American cars that don't go around corners are the crappy ones from the 70s, the 80s. We're not even going to mention the 90s, because that era was embarrassing for the US car. Yeah. But nowadays, nah, bro. I mean, the Cadillac lineup looks so good. Looks amazing. Looks so good. You could put the CT6, I think, is the biggest sedan that they offer in the lineup now. If you put that next to an S class, if you put the new Lincoln next to an S class and a 7 Series BMW, you're gonna look at it, and especially in Europe, in a place like Berlin, like Paris, like Rome, like London, you're gonna think, oh, that guy's really rolling in the dough. That is an interesting car. Whereas if you get out of a black S class, people are gonna think you're a cab driver.
Uber.
Exactly. This guy came with an Uber exec.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Lux, by the way. Yeah.
Whatever. I've seen S classes doing Uber X as well, and you've seen a lot of them as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah, all right. But the thing about it is that they might think you're an Uber. No, I really don't have much of an argument for the CTS, the Cadillac.
Who the hell's gonna buy something like that to do Uber with it?
I mean, personally, I've seen one or two, and you go, yeah, it's nice. But I don't sit there and go, I want one.
I want one. I really do. I really would like one. I would like insert American car here. I would like anything, but I'm very passionate about cars. I really am a gearhead. I would like.
It's called sorry for the ladies and gentlemen, it's called petrol head, by the way.
Yeah, potato tomato. It means the same thing. I would like. I would like to. I like to think that I have a little bit of an attention disorder when it comes to cars, because I'm like that fish in Finding Nemo. Like, ooh, a 5 Series. Ooh, an X5. Ooh, an S class. You know.
Yeah,
I'm like
me
that.
too. Yeah, you mean Dory?
Exactly. That's her face.
Yeah.
But because I think that the epitome of the American vehicle for us Europeans is going to be a pickup truck. And let's not forget that the best-selling vehicle in the world is the F-150.
In North America.
I think it's in the world, because they sell like one every minute. I don't think that there's a factory in Europe with this economy right now that can sell keychains every minute.
You know, I think you're wrong there. I think the world's best-selling car has been the Volkswagen Beetle.
Well, you mean sheer numbers, that because they sold like
Yeah.
12 million of them, but that was
You're thinking now.
yeah. I was thinking about 2019. How many did they sell? Okay, they're not gonna sell 12 million because the Beetle was sold over a 30-year long lifespan, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's the sheer volumes. Like, can you imagine one F-150, which is a big car? It's a big car. Every single minute. Can you imagine the rate of manufacturing?
I mean, okay, so I'm playing devil's advocate here, but in Canada, I saw an F750.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Oh my God, was the simple? It looked like something from a zombie apocalypse movie, and it had black tinted windows, and it had the biggest wheels, like a dually, as you say. And it was phenomenal the way this thing looked, and my jaw dropped and hit the floor. I thought, if that was in England, it would never, ever, ever get through a width restriction. We'd have to turn the car in the middle of the road.
Well, hang on a minute, because English width restrictions are such a retarded thing, and for the people that have never been to England and drove through England, it's a normal road, and all of a sudden, because the city council said, for no apparent reason, you will have two metal poles at the width of 2 meters. That is 6 foot and a little bit. Now,
6'6".
yeah, 6'6". Now, you and your Vito are gonna be struggling to go through it.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lucky thing is that your mirrors are gonna be on top of them, because they're not going all the way up, those poles.
Yeah.
But still, that thing is retarded, and you would have a difficult time going through width restrictions. And guess what? A Range Rover, which has a 5-liter V8 in it. Did you know that? Did you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
And again, let me make another point. The big three, the Audi, the BMW, and the Mercedes, they sell cars for normal people, 2-liter diesels. Yeah, most of their market share is going to be in the 2-liter diesel area, right? But what does every fanboy of respective brand aspire to? If you're a BMW guy, you're going to aspire to the M3 or an M5. Those are V8s. If you're an Audi fanboy, It's the RS4, RS6, SQ7s. The SQ7. Remember the Q
S5,
yeah,
S6, yeah.
the Q7 at some point was a W12. So
Yeah.
Bentley never built anything small. Rolls-Royce never built anything small. Rolls-Royce never built a diesel. So I have to maintain the opinion and the argument that the bigger the engine, the better it will be. There's nothing that replaces torque.
Disagree completely. The most longest running car in the world was a 1.8 Volvo 1966, featured Roger Moore in a program called The Saint, and it has achieved over 3 million miles with 2 engine rebuilds, and one of the clutches lasted 450,000 miles.
Yeah.
So a smaller engine, a 1.8 your tiny lawnmower engine, guess what? No American cars ever come close to it
Well,
for reliability. The next best reliable car in the world, Mercedes-Benz, which done 2.3 million miles on the same engine.
yeah. Well, look. As far as reliability is concerned, nobody in this world, until we develop a different kind of technology, will be able to dethrone the W123. No car. End of story. Nothing is as reliable.
Yeah, they're still
as
running.
Yeah.
But okay, they're still running. But what's the engine size of 123?
Yeah, okay. It was
Yeah.
between 2 and 3 liters. It was a 2
Exactly.
liter, 2.2, 2.4.
I know, because my dad had
Yeah,
one.
my
and
dad
your
had
dad
one.
had one. Yeah, right.
My dad
And
had
yeah.
the 2.4.
I mean, tell the truth, my dad had 9 accidents in that car and wrote the car off 4 times and still rebuilt it, and it's still going
Yeah, of course.
before he got rid of it.
But that is like the Nokia 3310 of cars. You just cannot destroy it. That is relentless. It's like a solid piece of granite. It's like the Bible. Wherever you go, there's gonna be one.
A copy on the dresser in the hotel room.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, what's the terrorist's most favorite car in any film is the 123 that you could still see them.
yeah, and nowadays the bad guy car is a E39 BMW or an E60 now. But no.
Yeah, isn't that strange, Rob, that it's not American, as you just brought that up?
Well,
No one looks at an American car and goes, whoa,
No,
look
no.
at the badass car go down, look at the gangsters. All right, no, not that far. but,
most
you know,
of the gangster
yeah.
cars
In a
are
film.
going to be Cadillacs and Lincolns.
Sure, I'm
Yeah.
not listening. No, this is
But
not right. No.
The BMWs, the black BMWs, and the few Mercedes are gonna be the henchman's car. They're not gonna be the big boss in charge's car, is it? No. What's his face? The bald guy from Austin Powers. The guy with the pinky. I forget his name. Anyway, he's not gonna
Yeah,
be
no,
driving in a W123 now, is he? He's gonna drive in something more exclusive, like a Cadillac Escalade, like a Lincoln Navigator. That is the bad guy's car. All the other dudes, they're just henchmen. Again, there's another one. The G-Wagon. The G-Wagon, ever since it came into like mainstream production in the 2000s, when the Kardashians bought like 15 of them and made them famous, the G-Wagon, you can't really find a G-Wagon smaller than a 5 liter.
No.
There is such a thing as a G350, but they're so elusive. It's like finding Bigfoot.
I was going to say, I've never seen one. All I see is the, if it's not the G-Wagon, it's the E63 AMGs, the
Yeah.
twin turbos, the
And
rocket powered things.
remember that Mercedes did the G65, which were V12s. Also, great engines. Okay, yeah, you
Yeah.
can debate their reliability, but when you get to something that's built to be thrashed, it's not going to be as reliable.
Yeah, you know what? I'll give you that. But here's the thing: when you buy a Mercedes-Benz with a V12, and 10 years down the line you sell it, you bought it for £120,000, and what's it worth now? 11 grand.
No.
The smaller engine car is gonna last and still, it's gonna bring you what's it called? Depreciation value is gonna be pretty good.
Well,
What-
yes, yeah, but no. That was some.
Are you trying to electrocute
That
yourself?
was some.
By the way.
That was some poltergeist. That was like the BMW gods just trying to give me a
Yeah.
hint that they're gonna kill
This is
me.
the European god saying stop talking about American cars. They're not as good.
Okay, look, high-end cars are always gonna depreciate the worst in the first 5 years. Like you can pick up a 6 or 7 year S Class for the price of a Kia Sedona. But you have massage seats and all of that. You can pick up a Cadillac Escalade, a 10-year-old Cadillac Escalade for like 12 grand, 15 grand at most. It's a great car. It's a fantastic car. What would you rather have? The Dacia Sandero
That's not
or
fair.
a Lincoln Navigator? A used
No,
one.
no, no, no. Apples to apples, please.
Apples to
Not
apples.
apples to lemons.
Let's imagine that you stick your hand in your pocket now and you only pull out £6,500 or euros or dollars. What are you gonna get? You're not. I'm not gonna get a piece of junk 1.2 Kia. No, forget about it. Forget about it. I'm gonna get myself a Lincoln Mark V from the 70s, and I'm gonna look like frickin' Al Pacino in what's his face. Insert gangster movie here.
No, no, no. If I was going to get a car, it would be something like an Audi. It would be something like a possible VW. Stop it. Stop it. It'd be a second-hand Mercedes-Benz.
Okay.
I'm not going to go for the lunatic BMW driving car because when I drive one, I act like one. I have no idea why I start driving like a BMW driver, but I start driving like one. But no, it's going to be a Mercedes. It's going to be some kind of a classy car with all the bells and whistles attached to it.
Yeah, a classy car. There's nothing classier than Hummer H2 in black. A Hummer
Go on,
H2
say it. I know you were dying to say it. Let's
in
hear it.
black with a lift kit with like 36-inch tires on it, all blacked out, no chrome on the wheels. I'm a grown up, you know. Make it pretty. You've got those American, like nothing in this world. And I'm telling you, I had a few Benzes, I had a few BMWs, I had a few various crappy cars, but there's nothing in this world as comfortable as an American's car seat. Nothing.
Yeah, I'll give you that. No, no. I'll give you that argument. What I'm desperate to hear is which car that you want to buy next out of the Hummer range. I want to let the viewers hear what you desperately want. Let's hear it, girly boy.
Well, no, it's not. It's not my. No. Okay.
No, you're not going to say it. Boys and girls, basically,
No.
our friend Rob over there wants to buy a H3. Barbie car.
I want to buy an H3. I was considering buying an H3 because it
Get
depreciated.
off the air now. Move over.
No.
Call your wife. Call your daughter.
Why?
Call somebody else.
Look, the H3 depreciated to the point where it's less than 10 grand. You can buy a decent one with less than 100,000 miles for like 6,500. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that's a great car. I would love the H2, but the H2 is still at 15 to 20,000. I'm not gonna be able to afford that thing.
Yeah, and you know what else you're not going to afford, bro? It's the fuel to go inside it.
Well, that's where you're kind of wrong because the H3 is only a 3.7.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie.
Such a douche. No. End of story. V8 sounds better than everything in this world. There's not.
No, Subaru with a big exhaust on it. Blah 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 blah. Blah. No.
What are you, a prepubescent teenager?
No, I'm somebody that looks at the Subaru Impreza and thinks Colin McRae. I'm not someone that looks at a Hellcat.
Colin McRae.
Hammond.
Colin McRae is 75.
No, he passed away in
Did
a
he?
helicopter accident.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Not
sorry.
75.
Yeah.
No,
Forget
Yeah.
about
75 foot
Okay.
under.
There's a different driver which is in my opinion slightly better than Colin McRae. He's called Ken Block.
Yeah, sorry. How many world championships, rally championships, has he won?
Well,
Right, I didn't think so. Okay, stop there. Stop.
Look, no.
Amazing driver. I'm not gonna argue.
Yeah.
Ken Block, he's a god.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I've seen him. Top Gear. The man is a freaking genius.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not talking about. We're talking about engines. We're talking about Audi.
That's what I wanted to say. Ken Block prefers the V8. All the great drivers of this world
I
prefer
don't
the
think
V8.
so. Then why in the videos when Ken Block drives does he drive something like a Subaru?
No. You're thinking of someone else. The smallest
No.
car that he drives is the Fiesta because he's got a contract with Ford.
I think on Top Gear he was driving in a Subaru Impreza. It's the kind of one that looks like a Ford Focus. That was it. That was on Top Gear, and yeah, and this is the one where he does a jump and the helicopter's underneath him, and he jumps over the helicopter.
Might have been
That's
a
a
Focus.
super.
But anyway,
Anyway, might have been. Yeah.
again, there's
But
not.
it's not a V8. You know why he doesn't drive V8? Because they don't handle, bro.
Of course they
You don't
do.
want. Have you seen the weight of a V8 compared to, let's say, a 2 liter, 1.8 liter?
Who cares about
That is going to have momentum when it drives. It's going to make the car follow it, and it's not going to handle.
Okay, look.
Why don't hold on? So stop here. Sorry, I mean to cut you off, but I'm passionate about this. Now, why does not Audi, when they were building in the FIA World Rally Championship now, why do they race smaller engines? To see what performance they can get out of a smaller engine compared to a bigger engine, and the car handles better with a smaller engine.
In my opinion, they're not. They impose this weird engine displacement limit in the WRC just because they already got to the point where the cars are so fast, and one mistake could kill them. They don't want
Yeah.
to make them faster,
Agree.
because if you hit a tree at, I don't know, 280 kilometers an hour, it's not gonna be a good day. It's gonna be that's gonna
For the tree?
Yeah, that's gonna hurt in the morning. You know.
In hospital.
Again, let's take the piece of junk universal poor man's car, the Skoda Octavia. Yeah. When you look at it, it's just a car. It looks terrible. It's it's a 1.9 or a 1.6 TDI in it. It's uncomfortable. It looks bad. It's just terrible, right? It sounds terrible.
No, Rob, don't sit on the fence. Tell us how you really feel.
This is me being, slightly held back.
Brutally
Yeah.
honest.
But then again, when you look at something like a Ford Crown Victoria, like the old cop cars, like the older NYC taxis, those look good and they sound good, and they're rear wheel drive plus V8 equals love. No one can dispute that. Could you do a burnout in Toyota
Not fair.
Avensis?
Not fair.
Could you do a burnout in I don't even know what to say, VW Passat?
Not fair. It's not the fair comparison.
You could do one in a Dodge Charger, which is a four-door that fits the dog and the kids. It's a 5.7. If you get the Hemi, it's a 6.1.
Yeah, which will only take you to the end of the street before you need to find a gas
No,
station.
because that one actually has a big tank. The Charger is the four-door version. The Challenger is the two-door coupe. And you know what? The Charger has something that I like to refer as hips. There's nothing sexier in this world than a car with hips.
Junk in the trunk?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. You could put
Kardashian booty.
exactly. And like, you know what? Let me tell you another thing. You get yourself one of those, let's say a run-of-the-mill Audi A6, right? It's gonna come on 225 section tires, at most 255s. Whereas the Challenger comes on 305s and can take all the way up to 345s in the back. Do you know how good that looks? And do you know how
Yeah.
much grip that gives you?
And well, if I was driving that car in London, I'd never get it through width restriction and piss off a lot of people trying to turn it around in the middle of the street.
Yep.
I need something practical, bro. I need something economic. I need something cheap to insure, cheap-ish to insure. I need something that can take the family out. I would need something that can, if I was playing golf or got something to stick in the boot. Stop looking like that. I need something which is reliable. I need something that when when the engine starts to go wrong, it tells me something's going wrong. Not when it blows up halfway down the road.
No, you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna buy a Euro shitbox, and then all of a sudden you're driving down the road, you're going golfing with your buddies with your stupid little hat and the stupid little pointy shoes, and then it's gonna say engine malfunction, car went into limp home mode, and you're not gonna be able to go faster than 20, and the first lorry that falls asleep is gonna ram you and kill you. that's what's gonna happen. Whereas if you have a V8, at most it's gonna splutter, and then you keep on going, and you're safe because it's a big car.
And at the end of that story, Robbie woke up and they all lived happily ever after.
All right, so
Listen, okay, to conclude, yes, an American car has presence in Europe, in London. Yes, if you stop drinking moonshine for a second,
not a sponsor.
yeah, no, you watch. There's something else in that cup, and it wasn't black coffee.
Actually, is. It's
Wow.
almost finished. Yeah. Anyway.
First time in history. Anyway, so the presence of an American car, especially the aforementioned, and I don't like admitting it, but the Eleanor, the Mustang, it turns heads. Two cars that turns head for me is a DB5 Aston Martin, and of course the Mustang. You're right. Okay, a Hellcat again, a lot of presence, but it's Europe. Which one would I rather have? I refrain from answering that question right now because I don't want to admit that the American car is probably the one I'd want to have over the European car.
Yeah. My opinion is almost the same, but it ends a bit differently. I would love to have an American car. I'm never gonna buy one. Not with my money.
Right.
I'll buy it
And
with
the reason?
No,
If you had the money, would you buy one?
probably not.
Really? Why?
Unless I would have like a 12 car collection. Probably not. There
Why?
tax restraints because we live
Oh.
in a society where having an engine that's bigger than 3.5, you're basically classified as a serial killer. Greta might.
Greta be knocking your front door.
No, she'll be
You are killing the planet.
She'll be jumping the fence, coming in through the side window, and like freaking killing me in my sleep.
Yeah, peeing on the bonnet
Exactly.
or the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, well, the American car, yeah, I still don't agree that. I still think the smaller engine car is better than the bigger engine car. Desirability, the American car. And an American car is going to come with a big engine. I'll give you that.
yeah,
But for everyday usage, my vote would still be European. I'd rather have an Audi RS5, RS6, one of those, an S8. I'd like to have that. That's the car which is gonna rinse the American car to bits to a point, especially around corners.
but it's
and I can take it on a track.
it's a big engine.
and I can stick my family in that. That's my opinion.
It's a big
But,
engine.
yeah, big-ish,
Yeah.
but very efficient. The Americans would have had to have an 8 liter to get the same thing out.
So, in conclusion, can I conclude this? In conclusion,
Yeah,
boys
sure.
and girls,
Yeah.
if you want to have a high performance car, do not spend money and tune the crap and throw parts at a 1.2. Save up and get yourself a proper fast car from the beginning, which will be M3, RS4, C63.
Agreed.
Unless you are under 25 and the insurance is going to kill you.
Yeah. But if you want to be seen and you had the money and you didn't care about Greta knocking on your front door, then you'd probably get the muscle car.
Yeah.
I mean, I would rather get the Camaro. That's my...
The Camaro.
Sorry, Camaro. Yeah, I knew you were coming with that. Yeah. That's, I saw it in Transformers, thought, yeah, that's the one for me. I'd
Yeah,
like
it's
to have that car.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's decent.
Wow, Rob, look at the time.
Yeah.
Amazing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't time fly when you're out your mind? It's incredible.
Is this real?
Well, I think you swallowed the blue pill instead of the red, but I think
Oh,
this is
not
weird,
again. It's going to be a hard
Yeah, well, damn.
day. Literally.
Anyway, so next time we'll be chatting about what exactly, Rob?
I don't know. I've seen you sneeze a couple of times. You feeling better?
Actually, I'm a bit under the weather today,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't well last night, but I still managed to, like a good soldier, to
Oh.
get out of bed and, do the show with you.
Yeah. So Corona didn't kill you yet, did it?
Oh, so I think, boys and girls, we're going to go to the coronavirus next time, the way he's just carried on there.
Yeah. Yeah. See
And
how
who
that
gave it to
goes.
us? Yeah, come on. Then we can hear him be really racist. You should hear what he calls me off air.
No, I don't think. Anyway, we'll talk about that next week.
Anyway, it's goodbye from me and Rob. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. And if you like what you just witnessed, this whole experience, remember to like the video, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you next week.
Absolutely. It's been emotional, Rob.
Yes, it has.
Okay. Take care and bye bye.